Life is a pro-life pregnancy care charity, so our aim has always been to offer positive, real alternatives to abortion, real help, real practical support. So some of that involves finding equipment that a new mother might need if she can't afford to get it. So things like cots, prams, buggies, nappies, baby wipes, anything you could think a baby would need, we give away for free. Back home in the UK, we also have housing. We're one of the largest providers of housing in the UK for pregnant women or new mothers. We have a helpline that's also available here on the Isle of Man, and online services as well. So people can call us up or talk to us if they just need someone else to talk about what they're going through. And we're there for them no matter what. So there's a lot going on with our care side, and then there's the advocacy side, which is more my job, which is to talk about what being pro-life really means, and advertising the great work that we do.
And presumably, of course, you will have been keeping a close eye on the abortion reform bill, which has been going through legislature over here.
Yes.
Give us an overview from Life's point of view. How do you view this bill, which is going through and would appear to be, I think it's at Legislative Council at the moment. I think it is likely to be promulgated and become law on the Isle of Man next year. What's Life's view on it?
Fully against it, and I can't explain enough how extreme this bill is in terms of how far it's gone with what it's asking for. I mean, essentially, when the bill was initially brought in, it just looked like a pro-choice wish list, and we were assuming that it wouldn't get that, but maybe they'd pull it back a little bit, and there would be some compromises. And amazingly and unfortunately, it seems to have flown straight through. However, landing here yesterday, I hear it's actually been frustrated a little bit, and now it's been sent off to some other committees. So there is still some hope that it may not actually pass, at least in the form that it is. And that for us is a great sign of hope, because I think this bill will be really damaging for the future of the Isle of Man.
So would you or would Life be against abortion in any circumstances?
Yes, we uphold the ideal that life is there from fertilisation, and that therefore, as human life, as a living human being, babies, fetuses, embryos in the womb deserve the same right to life that you and I do. It's a human rights issue for us.
And what about extreme cases, happily relatively rare, but obviously they do happen, where we have rape cases, and some people would say surely a woman shouldn't be forced to have a child if it was a result of a rape?
Yeah, I mean, we could obviously talk about that, and it is one of the hard questions that we would count, that we get asked. However, you guys already had the possibility of abortion for sexual assault, and yet the bill has gone even more extreme than that, to the fact that you've got social reasons up to 24 weeks, but abortion on demand up to 14 weeks. So although obviously that is a big question, it's not the reason why we have so many abortions back in the UK. Our 200,000 abortions don't happen for reasons like that. They happen for other things, because they believe the woman would either be physically or mentally, and it's the mentally bit that tends to get the most abortions in the UK.
Now, it is going through legislature, and we obviously have to wait to see just how many changes there may or may not be. Do you think you're fighting a losing battle here? And as much as it would appear they've been at great pains, I think, to try and take on as many views as possible. It's been discussed at length going through the keys. It's obviously now in the Legislative Council for refinement there. The bottom line is, it would seem the majority would appear to think the island does want this.
See, I disagree. I don't necessarily think that the pro-life point of view has been well represented in the media over here. I think there's been a lot of voices that have been shouted down, and certainly there's been a lot of abuse for anyone who dares to come out and say that they are pro-life. And, we were hearing yesterday about people who'd said, well, I fully agree with you, but there's no way I could ever say it, because of the type of vitriol that there seems to be on the island for anyone who disagrees with the bill, or for anyone who disagrees with abortion. So I know that the bill has gained a lot of support over here, but I would wonder how much of it is because people don't feel able to have any other opinion, because of the type of discussion that's happened around
and
it.
Do you think the viewpoint or the way they go about it? Because I think certainly here on Mike's Radio, we've heard from both sides over the last year or so, hopefully I would say in equal amounts, and both are very passionate either way. And again, you do think you will never get any common ground between them, because they both are passionate believers either in the rights of the woman, believing to do the right thing for the woman, or for the life of the unborn child at whatever stage that is deemed to begin. And you think, well, never the twain will meet to a large degree, but certainly those who are anti-abortion in any circumstances can often be quite militant in their viewpoints.
Well, I certainly wouldn't describe life as militant. I mean, we're a caring charity. We're trying to show that there is a better way and that there are other alternatives to abortion. And what we tend to see in our care centres, but on our helpline as well, is it's not that women are choosing to have an abortion. It's more like they don't feel there's any other choice. They don't know how else they're going to manage, or it wasn't the situation they planned to be in and they don't know how to get out of it. So it's, in going down this road, I think it's a huge risk for the Isle of Man, and it is going to put lives at risk, because obviously with every abortion, scientifically and biologically, life does begin at fertilization. There is little doubt about that. And with the way the law, the bill at the moment is being presented, it's also leaving it very open for vulnerable women to be taken advantage of, by not having a doctor rule up until 14 weeks. So don't need a doctor to sign off on it, to have only one doctor signing off up to 24 weeks. There isn't the safeguarding there to make sure this is even what they believe is a good thing for the woman. And all I'm seeing is probably more like a conveyor belt of women who get pregnant, don't know what to do, and they're just pushed down the road of having an abortion. Whereas what we would like to offer is a bit of time, bit of space, bit of support, and to show that there are other ways.